presents
The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter.
Business Buzz.
Here's your host, Kathy Miller.
Good morning, K-Man. How is everybody doing this morning? I know I'm feeling great. The weekend is almost here. It is technically Friday Eve. That's what Thursday is known as. I'm very happy in this segment of the Business Buzz to be introducing one of my friends. She's one of my friends. She's a super creative person. She is a registered nurse, a makeup artist, and a lifestyle curator and entrepreneur who started a shop here called That Bird in Paradise. So welcome to the show, Sonia Sajnai.
Well, thank you, Kathy.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm great. I'm really excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you here. I know that we can go on our own tangents, so we're going to, as much as we can, stick to what we're here really to talk about, which is That Bird in Paradise.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So before we get started with that, I want to get a bit of a career background on you, kind of how you started. You're a registered nurse, so kind of how you started with that, what brought you into nursing, and then how you went from really nursing to the entrepreneur that you are today.
Sure. My background started in makeup and hair. I've always been interested in beauty and in art and in creativity, and I'd gone into makeup and hair for TV and film. I'd moved out to Vancouver. I'm from Edmonton, Alberta. I'd moved out to Canada, or to Vancouver, to pursue makeup and hair for TV and film, and I ended up falling into the wedding industry doing makeup and hair. And
is that a lot easier? Because I know film is like 14 hours a day, kind of minimum.
Yeah, they're long days, but they're also very rewarding days, and I still love doing productions, long productions, which is interesting because my nursing career ended up taking me into the operating theaters, which is also very, very long cases. It has a different kind of a fulfillment. You work with a select group of people for an extended period of time, and then you wrap up and you're all kind of in the same boat, and I enjoyed it, but I fell into the bridal industry. And so, one wedding rolled into another, and I ended up moving back to Edmonton from Vancouver. And my best
Really?
I
That's
know
not a move a lot of people do.
I know, but I wasn't working in TV and film the way that I had initially thought I wanted to. I thought I wanted to be in special effects, and that isn't what ended up drawing me in. It ended up being more of the glamour and like the events and the more, I guess, glamorous side of makeup ended up drawing me in more. So, I ended up moving back to Edmonton really because truth is that my best friend had gone into nursing, and I really loved to travel, and travel nursing was really big at that time. And you could get paid all kinds of bonuses, and so I thought, what better way to travel than make money while I'm traveling, and I pursued nursing because of that. And I ended up doing my 4 years, did my degree, and never ended up traveling with nursing, but ended up, I just totally went a different way. My makeup career ended up taking off. So I needed to work casually as a nurse so that I could balance my makeup with my nursing. And I enjoyed nursing. I loved working in the hospital. I thoroughly enjoyed the cases that I worked on and the people I worked with. I always felt very honored to be working in these incredible cases that people couldn't pay to see what I was seeing and experiencing, transplants and, and being with patients in such a vulnerable state as well, right before they're going into surgery, going under from, really big surgeries. It was very special. So I ended up not doing the travel nursing, and I ended up just traveling and then working in my makeup career over the summers. That was our makeup. That was when the bridal industry just boomed right in Edmonton because it was snowing half the year. So
it's like minus 40 degrees in the wintertime in Edmonton. I just want people to know that.
I think it's like minus 27 as a high right now. It's freezing
crazy.
There right now.
Yeah. That's Celsius too.
Celsius. Yeah. So, balancing that nursing and makeup and travel, I had to narrow it down, and I ended up just focusing on medical aesthetics, and I went into injectables, and that was kind of like a good marriage between the beauty industry with my nursing career.
Right.
So that's what transitioned me into that, and that was 15 years ago.
Was that when it was starting to kind of pop off? Because I feel it's still relatively a new industry, but I feel like when you entered it, it might have been you were coming in at the right time.
100%. I was a pioneer in my province. I was the first RN to actually create a business out of injecting. I contracted myself to various clinics that had their medical directors, and I would work for that clinic and just build the clinic based on what I was doing, and they took care of the medical directorships, the supplies, everything.
So when we say injecting, can you let
elaborate
people
on
know?
that?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, sure. It was mainly muscle relaxants. So your Botox, your Dysport. So to treat fine lines and wrinkles, and fillers. So basically. Hyaluronic acid fillers was my main filler choice, and skin boosters. Skin boosters weren't as much of a thing at the time. That has come out more so in the last maybe like eight years or so. I'd say that there's skin boosters that have come out. PRP has been around for a long time.
What's PRP?
So PRP.
You can have these acronyms, and I have no idea what it is.
PRP is this is good, and it deserves explanation. So that actually led to the vampire facial. So PRP is your blood essentially being drawn out and spun so that you get platelet-rich plasma to be applied to your face or injected if it was via injectables. So those were the main injectables at that time. And so I translated my nursing career into a medical aesthetic-driven career. Ended up moving here. 9 years ago now.
Was it under the guise of working?
Under the guise of working in that industry.
Okay.
And so I did that for 7 years. And since then, I've done numerous artistic ventures that have kind of balanced my creativity with the scientific aspect of working in a clinic here, or I don't know if I would say the scientific aspect, but the
medical aspect, maybe?
Yeah, just working in a very medical space.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite black and white, I would say. There isn't a lot of blending of art and medicine here that I have experienced anyway. I do see it. I see it in some offices. I would say more so as of late. But when I first came, it definitely was not like that. So I did, develop a creative outlet for myself. Back in 2019, I created a space called The Space that was actually very, very well received. It was a safe space for creatives and for, just people who wanted to do really anything that they wanted to. I created it and supported it as a platform for other creatives. And that's where I started my pop-up consignment shops. So, it started off as an opportunity for people to bring their gowns in because of the events here. I was always very involved with events because of makeup and hair.
Yep.
And, it was such a waste having so many beautiful pieces hanging in your closets when they could have been circulated. I've seen it a lot in being East Indian. I've seen it a lot in my community where, you buy these beautiful $1,000 outfits, $500 outfits, $800 outfits that you wear once, and you, God forbid, you wear it again.
Why is it like that? And that's really with women a lot of the time. It's like we can't rewear something. I mean, I rewear my work stuff all the time, for example, but it's those kind of glamorous nights out or special events.
Yeah.
It's almost ingrained in us that we're not going to rewear this outfit or this dress.
I almost think, and I feel like we're getting better at it, but I do think that, a special dress, you almost associate with that special event. That was what you wore to that event. And that's the image that's etched in your mind, of yourself in that dress at that event. I mean, I have worn the same outfit. You know, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say that necessarily is me now, but I do remember, you know, going to these functions, these East Indian weddings, and, you know, it's a lot of the time within the same community that
Right.
somebody's getting married, you know, that would have been at the previous event. So yeah, you just can't.
I think it's different to style like the saris and those beautiful pieces that the women would wear in East Indian community. It's different to style that, whereas, you know, styling a black dress.
Right.
You could style that completely different.
For
but
sure.
The sari, that's a whole other elaborate and dramatic kind of look, and it's
Yeah.
hard to change.
Yeah,
that look.
but you know, will the 500 other people that were at the wedding remember your outfit? You know, well, you know what? In your mind, yes, because it was that striking, right? That's how I don't know. That's how I would want to go out to dress, is to
Yeah.
wear something memorable, right? So, anyways, that 2019 at the space, that I think it was in October that I did that pop-up shop, and you know, it was really well received, and it was gowns, and it started off as gowns, but then it turned into tastemakers on the island that reached out and were like, hey, do you mind if I pop in my things? And it turned into this little pop-up of their own little stands within that
The space.
that pop-up shop,
Mm-hmm.
and then a bunch of other people who didn't want to represent their own pieces that just were like, can I put in some things? And so it turned into this consignment pop-up shop of tastemakers and of just other people's things that just, you know, it became this amazing shopping experience. So I did that a few times. I did that 3 times before COVID hit. And when COVID hit, obviously, you know, I couldn't keep up.
You had to pivot.
I-
A lot of us had to pivot.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, everybody had to pivot. I couldn't keep up with, you know, doing my work as well as, you know, doing this extraneous work, you know, doing.
There wasn't a whole lot of events going on. Not a lot.
There were no
not a lot of
events.
weddings.
No.
Couldn't really, with the hair and makeup, that couldn't happen.
Nope, that wasn't happening.
Yeah.
And but what was booming was doing COVID testing. So I ended up working with Doctor's Hospital and doing
Okay.
some COVID testing until I was able to get back into the clinic. And then at that time, you know, I'd given up my lease on the space, and I guess we can fast forward, you know.
Yeah.
To
That had to have
what
been a
it is
little
now.
hard to give up that space, or the space, really. It had to have been a little hard, granted that COVID did hit. I mean, you can't hang on to something like that that's not making any revenue back. Like, you'd just be paying, you know, rent on it, right?
Yeah,
It doesn't make no sense.
It made
you
it
can't
made
have
no
people come to the
sense.
stores. So.
And I also found it very difficult to manage. It really was a passion project. It really was something that I needed in my life in order to support the creative side of me, because I wasn't able to nurture that
Mhm.
in my clinical environment. So, you know, it was, I found it very hard to balance the two, being in two different environments. I was running back and forth
Right.
and trying to manage everything and trying to do everything, and I wasn't really sure, because it was so busy, I wasn't really sure what I was doing. I feel like I wasn't doing the space could have been a lot more. It could have been a lot more, and it could have been something that maybe, you know, if it was better organized. But, you know, truly, I just wanted it to be a creative outlet, and it to be a support for other creatives.
Gotcha.
So, you know, it didn't have, I was the management, I was the everything,
Yeah.
you know, which is,
It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot to do.
it's a lot of energy. It's a lot of,
Mhm.
it was exhausting.
Yeah.
So it happened at the right time that I gave it up, but it did spark a fire within me that, you know, I knew that the consignment shop would work. I knew that there was a lack of stylish pieces on the island that were readily available, that were of good quality, and that were kind of treasures.
Right.
You know, like, people hold on to these things in their closets, and they just sit there, you know.
We don't know why.
They
As
just-
women, we don't know why we do
I
that.
don't know why,
But
they're
we're going to
just-
get into the rest of the story. We got to take a commercial break right now. We're
Sure.
going to go into the rest of the story and now learn about the story of that bird in paradise.
Amazing.
All right.
Okay.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Hi, I'm Max. What's your favorite part of school?
I love science. I love playing outside. What's yours?
It's lunch.
Ha! Yum. Yes, yum.
Yum School Lunch program ensures your kids have fresh, healthy lunch options every day. Yum School Lunches are now available at selected private and public schools across Grand Cayman.
My favorite food from school is pasta, jerk chicken, and spaghetti and meatball.
I love Cayman-style beef, chicken curry. Yum. We love school lunch. Yum.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
We have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future,
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance,
or protecting your family's household investment.
from our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center.
Specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise
at Cayman Insurance Center. Call today.
Triple C School is celebrating 83 years strong. Join us for a night of food, culture, and community at our celebration gala on February 8th, 6:30 p.m. at the Family Life Center. Enjoy delicious traditional Cayman cuisine, fish, turtle, conch, chicken, Cayman spicy beef, and all the trimmings. Also, spot prizes and live performances by Swanky Kitchen Band and Triple C Band and Choir. Tickets are only $100 and proceeds go towards ongoing school projects. So dress smart casual and come be a part of this incredible 83rd celebration. Get your tickets now at the school office. Triple C, building on our legacy.
The Business Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Business Buzz.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz. I'm Kathy Miller, and I'm in studio with one of my friends, Sonia. If you haven't been to That Bird in Paradise, which is in Regency Court on West Bay Road, you've got to check it out. It is a consignment shop. It's a lifestyle brand, really.
Yeah.
I went to it yesterday. We spent quite a bit of time going over all the different clothes that are in there, but you also have a Korean skincare, a bunch of Korean skincare brands in there. But before I jump into that, I just want to let people know that that's who we're talking to right now. You are a lifestyle curator. You're a hair and makeup artist. You are a registered nurse as well, and you were able to mesh all of these careers together, and it's kind of brought you to where you are with the Bird in Paradise right now. So we know that you had to close down the space. COVID hit, and you had to kind of pivot and figure out what's next.
Yeah.
So how did That Bird in Paradise come to fruition?
Wow. Oh geez, I was working mobile. I was doing mobile services, and I felt very stuck because I didn't know how to grow. I didn't know how to grow in what I was doing. I knew what my passions were, in the sense of the things that I love. I love supporting. I've always worked with women, because I've done makeup and hair for as long as I've been doing makeup and hair for 25 years. Yeah.
Which you're great at. And I know a lot of people love you. A lot of people loved coming to you when you were doing the injections, right?
Yeah.
I want to say injectables. I don't know if that's the right
Yeah.
phrase. And for hair and makeup. So a lot of people, you just have a really good vibe about you.
Thank you.
And so I know that you were a lot of people's favorite, really, on Island.
Thank you so
to
much,
go to for that.
Kathy. I really put everything into what I do. I do pour my heart and soul into what I do. And, when I decided to just take a risk this year, there was a space that was available, stars lined up, and I decided to just, let me just take a plunge. I'm getting a unit. There's, I found this lovely space on West Bay Road, right on 7 Mile. It was an opportunity I just didn't want to pass up, because if I didn't try, I wasn't going to grow.
Right.
I took my one unit and I wanted to do a consignment shop. It started off just being a consignment shop. And I started, trying to design it out. I was trying to put everything that I love together in this one space. And so it was a consignment shop, but, during these last 2 years as well, doing my brides and doing the events, I had also decided to just pick up the skill of sunless tanning, of spray tanning.
Mm-hmm.
And, I knew there was a market for it here. I was giving away the business to other artists on the island. And I thought, let me just learn. And of course, one day it just literally fell into my lap. I was on Instagram, and there was an image of Miley Cyrus. I don't remember I think it was last year's Grammys.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And there are all these pictures of, there's Miley Cyrus, there's J-Lo, there's Salma Hayek, and they'd all been tanned by this one particular brand, and by this one particular artist. And so I wrote her on Instagram, and I didn't write the brand, I wrote her. And I asked her if she trains, because she was a A-lister,
right,
spray tanner, And I was like, this is who I'd want to learn from. So I messaged her, and we did a course. And so I went out last year in May, and just, I needed to
you went
do something.
to LA to do this.
I ended up going to, I met up with her in Orlando.
Okay.
And
a little closer, okay.
Yeah, it was a little, oh my God, it was such a last minute thing. She just had that availability. She was going with her family to Orlando, and she did this random class. She'd done, it was, they were private, like there's 4 people in our little class. And she had just thrown it out there. It was on her story. It wasn't even advertised for, within the company.
Mm-hmm.
And I just happened to see it. So again, stars lined up. And I ended up I went up north, way up. I went to DC to come back down to here. It was incredible. Like the length of time it took me just to get to Orlando. I could have walked there faster, I probably, but I ended up, so I had the tanning. I ended up doing the course, loved it, came back, something that I could offer to people. Again, disjointed, not so disjointed because, I went along with the hair and makeup, but, how do I house all this stuff in one space without me having to run around everywhere and,
Right.
And, like that travel time and just the efficiency wasn't there. Right. So in my mind, this one unit that I got, I had a tanning room. I had a little room for my, for my micro needling and for like small, like non-medical facial services.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of the space would be my consignment shop.
It makes sense to me because it's all about really somebody's look and feel. So it is in a sense, what we do go shopping, we're trying to find something to wear. Then we want to get our makeup done and our hair. And then just, the spray tan coming in handy right there. It's all one place that you can get a look curated for you.
Right. So that was the idea of that space. That Bird in Paradise, I came up with that name, I want to say in 2023 or early 2024. It just was something that I again, just popped up in my mind. Mm-hmm. And I think I was looking at this Bird in Paradise or the Bird in Paradise or something like that. Then I found, other alternatives around it. And when I hit on that Bird in Paradise, it hit home because I felt like that was me. I felt like that was who I am now. I've my career has pivoted, and I'm here, and it just kind of I kept the name, I kept the domain, I kept the Instagram handle, I kept my socials, but I didn't know what I was going to do with it. And I thought last year I'd participated in Art Week, and my collection sold within half an hour of the opening.
So that was amazing.
It was amazing. It was such a great feeling, and I thought, okay, maybe this is my art page. Maybe this is that bird in paradise. But I'm so glad I held on to it and kept it.
Yeah.
Because what it has become is a lifestyle studio. And, I kind of struggled with, a lot of people who have known me for a while know me as Style Bar. They know me as, that was my name of my business when I came down here, or when I'd started it here. And it's because that was the name of the business in Canada. And, it was just a continuation of it, but I've changed so much. This is I feel like that bird in paradise is my new brand. Like that is the lifestyle
you getting your
studio.
wings.
Yeah,
very much so.
Yeah,
we got a couple minutes before we got to go to the next break, so I wanna turn to the consignment part, because it started as a consignment shop, right? And I guess when it comes to this, how do you get all the clothes in there? Do you reach out to people, or people reaching out to you, and how does the deal work?
Okay, so people typically reach out to me. People have so many things that they want to get rid of, and I do curate what I have in the shop, and it's not out of being snobby, or it's not brand related. The pieces that I take in. The only things that I'm conscious of taking is I do want things that are of good quality, but I'm about style more so than I am about a brand, and I always have been. I always will be. I grew up digging through, thrift shops, and like I love that. I love being able to piece something together out of nothing.
I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. So people reach out to me. They pop by a lot of the time, which I ask for people to make appointments.
Okay.
But people just pop by with their things, and and sometimes it's just 3-4 items, and it's hard for me to turn that away, to be honest. As things get busier, I'll probably have to, or as things refine more, and I this is all a learning curve for me as well, right? This baby is 3.5 months old, so I will have to have specific days for intake, and I'll have to get a little bit more tight with that. But when somebody comes in, it's really hard, as a treasure hunter, it's really hard to be like, can you just come back, because I'll see something that's amazing. Like yesterday, somebody brought in this super cool tracksuit jacket. It's a Gucci jacket from 2019. I can't remember what it says on it. But it's when the collection had the snake on, embroidered on their pieces. And it's just such a cool track jacket. How do I tell this woman to leave and be, and come back with it, in 2 weeks from now? I want to take it now. Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that people generally will pop by, or, they'll email.
Okay.
And make an appointment, and I ask for people to bring in. Currently, I'm asking for people to bring in no more than 10 pieces at a time.
Okay.
And they all need to be in excellent to new condition. Vintage pieces, I do have a little bit of leeway with. I love vintage pieces. I am picky of what I take in that's vintage, because it needs to be in a decent enough condition that it can be worn.
Right.
I mean, I've had people bring in things that are wet, have dog hair all over it.
No. Oh my
gosh. So I just ask people to be conscientious of what they're bringing in, because I won't take it.
Absolutely not. It's just, why do you have to drag
I'm
things
not the nice girl that's gonna. It really, if it requires any,
if they're selling it should be in a ready to go
kind
of sales mode. We got to go to our next break, but when we come back, I want to know about the pricing, like how you structure that.
Sure.
And then a couple more things we got to talk about.
Perfect.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
We have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
Hi, I'm Max. What's your favorite part of school?
I love science. I love playing outside. What's yours?
It's lunch.
Ha! Yum. Yes, yum.
Yum School Lunch program ensures your kids have fresh, healthy lunch options every day. Yum School Lunches are now available at selected private and public schools across Grand Cayman.
My favorite food from school is pasta, jerk chicken, and spaghetti and meatball.
I love Cayman style beef, chicken curry. Yum. We love school lunch. Yum.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Vendors. Last call for vendors for Grand Cayman's biggest one-day family fun day. The 56th Annual Agriculture Show. Position your business and products in front of tens of thousands of people in one day at the Stacy Watler Agriculture Pavilion in Lower Valley. Ash Wednesday, March 5th. Contact Kelly Holding on 623-8822 to book your vendor stall today. The 56th Annual Agriculture Show. Ash Wednesday, March 5th.
The Business Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Business Buzz.
All right, welcome back to the Business Buzz. I'm Kathy Miller, and in here I have Sonia, who is a makeup and hair artist. She's a registered nurse, and she's the lifestyle curator and entrepreneur of That Bird in Paradise, which is a consignment shop. It has a spray tan section. It has a section where you can do some microneedling and non-medical facials. She's got different skincare lines in there. And before we go into that part, as we were talking about the consignment part, so with the clothing that people are bringing in, how do you do the price structure with that? When people are bringing in pieces, how do you decide, okay, this is what we're going to sell it for?
Yeah.
This is what the original seller gets back.
Yeah. So the pricing structure, so when a product comes in, so like that jacket, for instance, that I was talking about, I'll look up the piece online and I'll see comparables online. And sometimes a comparable doesn't, if it's a rare piece, obviously there's value in that, right? I pride myself on not taking advantage of shoppers on island because I wouldn't want to be taken advantage of, I guess. Like the pricing on the island, and we all live on this island, and, we all have to make a buck, and I get it. But that's just not my principles.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
I want it to be fair. I also have a business to run, and so my pricing is really based on research of the product. When people bring in their items to me, I do set the prices, and if a client isn't happy with the pricing, they're welcome to take their piece back. There's no issue with it. There's no grudge. There's no, nothing. It's just what I feel like something will sell for. I mean, I need my shop to sell, right?
How much of a percentage does the client keep?
So the client will keep, depending on the value of the item. If it's under $500, the shop will keep 60% and the client will get 40%.
Okay.
If it's above $500, it's 50-50.
Okay, got it.
So, if you're bringing in an item that's of a higher value, you'll receive more for your product.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's worked out really well to date, and again, like I said, we're 3.5 months in.
Right.
So far so good. It's a lot of fun. There's some really amazing relationships that have been built through, and it's very vulnerable. People bring in their pieces, and there's a story. This is the cool part. People come in, and I'm like, ugh. This is why appointments are kind of important. And also, I'm somebody who likes to hear stories. Mm-hmm. I love learning about people. Mm-hmm. So people will come in with their pieces, and they'll tell me the background of this piece. And, I've learned to just be like, okay, son, blinders on, just look at the piece, and, that's it. You take it, you don't take it, but you don't have the time to sit there and like hear every story about the piece all the time, but it's just everybody connects their clothes with stories.
Right. Well,
it's actually,
especially if we've worn them for special occasions, there's a little special memory attached.
Yeah, or where you got them from, or what part of your life this
true.
was. It's actually incredible.
So
it's like music.
Yeah.
It's just, it takes you back.
Yeah.
And I know it's harder for some. This is why we keep things in our closet a lot of the time, right? Like,
yes.
It's not just because it's a good piece. I feel like as we have more and more, and we want to get lighter and lighter. We do. Like, I'm doing this with my closet, for instance. I do have my random one-off pieces that I can't seem to give. My closet's full of kaftans. I love kaftans. Do I need so many kaftans? No, but I'm trying to refine my pieces so that they are just easy to grab, easy to wear. As a makeup artist, my specialty was East Indian weddings. I used to be up at 2:00 in the morning, going to some bride's house to get them ready. I need easy clothes, but I want to look good.
Movable. Yeah.
Yeah, but I also am doing your makeup. Like, I can't look like trash showing up to your house to get you looking fabulous, because where's the trust in that, right? So, yeah, it's just, they're interesting observations that I've had that I never really was privy to before.
Interesting.
There's really great relationships, really great community being built. I have an initiative that is going on right now.
That Bird in Paradise. But before we get there, because I want to wrap with that part.
All right.
That Bird Gives Back. That's what the initiative is. You have a couple of other services.
I do.
And one of the big things that you offer there is Korean skincare. Now, there's a big rage about this. You set me up with a whole bunch of products last night to try. So I want to learn, what is this rage about Korean skincare?
Yeah.
Why are you so interested in it?
Is everything. I have been obsessed with Korean skincare and been using it exclusively for about 2 years now. It has changed my skin. I grew up going back to Asia every year. I was never, some people are really set in their ways about using things from North America or from the UK because that's what they trust, right? I've always been, open to, I'm East Indian. There's always these random Ayurvedic treatments that I didn't know why I was doing what I was doing, but my mom gave me this concoction and I drank it and it worked, There's always been these beauty rituals within the within the Indian culture.
In different cultures,
in various cultures. And so I grew up with the East Indian version, but also, my family is from Malaysia and from Brunei. There's a lot of Chinese influence in there as well. So a lot of traditional Chinese medicine, like reflexology, I was introduced to very young. It's Korean skincare is ingrained in roots, it's very innovative while also being holistic. So a lot of botanicals, a lot more natural ingredients. It's very non-aggressive, but very effective. And, I love having people that come in. I've had so many people come in and just let me set them up. And the consultation and the results, the messages that I get within a week, like within not even a week, sometimes a couple days, I love my glow, it's incredible how fast your skin can start transforming.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I did this mask that you gave me overnight, and when I took it off this morning, my face was super glossy, very hydrated, but just glossy, and the puffiness, I guess, that I usually wake up with wasn't there. Yeah. So I don't know if that was just the mask or if it was all the products kind of combined that I was doing, but it was an interesting little skincare routine for me last night. And I'd have to say there was an eye cream that you lent me because you set me up with all these different steps to do, and that eye cream vibrated. It was in my hand. I was like, is this an eye cream? Is this a dual product? I didn't know what was going on, but I was so fascinated with that little feature of it. Yeah. And you could feel it activating within your skin.
Yeah, it wakes up your lymphatics. It's innovative, right? It's not just for one purpose. You've got an eye cream that's going to help brighten your under eye area. It's going to help moisturize it, hydrate it, introduce ingredients into it. That particular eye cream actually has Riedels in it, which I've gone on about on my Instagram, but it's like a bio needling delivery system, which is, again, innovation, right? This is micro needling in a bottle is technically what it is. And we've got it for the face. We've got it as just the needles themselves. And I say needles, but, you'll feel a tingly sensation on your skin, but there's no blood drawn. There's no, your skin isn't broken visibly. It just creates these channels where it's like a product enhancer. It creates these channels that anything you apply on top of it will be twice as efficient and as effective. And now I've got it also with collagen, and I've actually just made another big order where I'm also getting other variations of it that it takes away that step of using another serum on top of it, because the needling already has that product, and then you can apply other things on top.
Right.
Yeah. So Korean skincare is also very much about layering products.
Okay. Now, I know I got one thing, but after my experience last night, I was like, I think I'll have to come back, because when I was asking you the prices yesterday, it was a great price point.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get frustrated by a really high price points with skincare stuff, and I'm like, is this like super needed? So I really appreciated that. We only got a couple minutes left, so you got maybe 1 minute that you can tell us about what that Bird in Paradise is doing for That Bird Gives Back.
Yeah.
I know it's an initiative that you're doing.
Oh, it's something I'm really proud of. And, for me, it was always really important. This is what having a platform like this is for, right? That you're able to give back as well to the community. And so I have, we all love our luxury items and maybe don't want to drop the dollars on it all the time. And, I have this purse in the shop that's beautiful, and people have, they look at it and consider buying it. And, I thought, why not use this purse as an opportunity for somebody to get it and to raise money for charity. And last year I worked quite closely with ARC. They're an amazing organization that does so much for, people in our community that really, really need it. And so we've got this
It's
beautiful
not just
luxury.
a purse. It's a Yves Saint Laurent, isn't it?
It's a gorgeous Yves Saint Laurent. It's a beautiful executive bag that turns into. You've got a clutch as well. That's part of it. And if you go onto our Instagram, That Bird in Paradise, you can see pictures of it. But tickets are $125 per ticket. There's only 100 tickets being sold, so the chances of you winning are actually, they're quite high. We need a reserve of 30 tickets in order to raffle the bag. So we're at 20 tickets right now. We're drawing at the end of February, and this is an initiative that I want to do quarterly for various charities. So this quarter we're doing it with ARC. The next quarter we're going to be doing it with a different organization with a different purse, and it's a really great way to give back, but also you could win a purse. You could win a beautiful bag that I've picked that is, I'm going to just say that you can pretty much be guaranteed it's going to be a beautiful purse. It's going to be stylish, and it's going to be something that is wearable. And
it is beautiful. I saw it. And the clutch, the fact that a clutch comes with it too.
I know, it's gorgeous.
So it's
gorgeous.
Great.
So I'm very excited to draw that on the 28th and to give ARC a nice check as well. So that's the initiative. Okay. And, you can get tickets by popping into the shop. It's in Regency Court Plaza, as you had said, upstairs, second floor, all the way over to the right-hand side. It's a little confusing because I've got Style Bar above the door, the entry, but you'll find it.
It's above
upstairs. It's above V2O.
V2O, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
And it is visible from the road. There's a neon sign that says That Bird in Paradise. So if you come in, you can get a ticket. If you want to DM me on Instagram at That Bird in Paradise, I can send you banking details. You can transfer it over. You'll get a receipt. So yeah, right now we're at 20 tickets and we need 10 more to do the draw. So please email us or pop in, get your ticket. Check out the purse. It's gorgeous. And check out all the skincare. Check out the clothes, the tanning room. We didn't really talk about that, but it's such a beautiful room.
There's so much more still for us to talk about.
Yeah.
We do have to wrap. And I do want to say that I know we spoke yesterday about it, and I was hoping we'd get it into the show, but you do authenticate the pieces too. So for those who are curious, okay, is this a real designer piece or is it a knockoff? You do have an authentication process. Right. And I think that's brilliant.
Amazing, yeah.
So well done. Sonia, you're doing great. I'm excited for you and what's going to happen in the future. And like I said, so much more to talk about, but we're out of time now. So everybody who is listening, who does have some clothing that they might want to, part from now.
Say goodbye to, pass it along to somebody else.
Go check out Sonia at That Bird in Paradise, Regency Court, West Bay Road. It's the plaza that's above what was formerly known as Lone Star, because I know they're tearing
Next
that
door
down.
to that. Yep.
Yeah. So it's second floor. Go check her out. The Instagram handle is That Bird in Paradise. And thanks for joining me this morning.
Well, thank you, Kathy.
All right. Have a great Friday Eve, everybody, and I'll be with you next week.
The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice.
We are Radio Cayman.
Covering Cayman right, Little Cayman.